up, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers conduct a disaster assessment in Austin, Texas. We join a photography exhibition in remembrance of Hurricane Sandy in New York City. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Nell. Thank you for joining us. First up, in the United States, at the end of October, days of consecutive heavy rain in Austin of Texas overflowed Onion Creek and sent rushing floodwaters into the suburbs. This is also one of the worst flooding this area experienced in 90 years. To help, Tzu Chi volunteers soon surveyed the hard-hit areas to gain a better understanding of the survivors' needs.
After the flood, what remained were damaged furniture and household items, which have been brought out onto the lawn. The flooding, which resulted from days of heavy storm, impacted mostly on the lives of middle and low-income families.
You know, I've seen it on TV. It happens somewhere else. You know, it happens to other people, and it seems very bad, but it's not personal. You know, you don't really get the idea of how bad it is, and then it happens to you, and you're like, now I fully understand what those other people went through.
With the flood waters reaching almost 2 meters high, cars have been waterlogged. The gush of water knocked over this fridge and damaged the wall. Most of the affected residents are staying with family and relatives for the time being.
My neighbor told me at 5:10. He said, "Look out the back, the creek is flooding." No, I stayed here in my house.
Stay here?
Because the water was already this deep, there's no way I could get out.
With the help of the local Red Cross disaster relief team, Tzu Chi volunteers were able to gain entry into the disaster area. Once a list of all the affected survivors has been compiled, Tzu Chi volunteers will soon begin their support and assistance to the survivors.
Tzu Chi's medical mission in the United States continues to care for residents in need. Recently, a 4-day large-scale free clinic was held with many sick residents looking forward to this event. What's special about this year is that it also happens to be the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi's Medical Center in Los Angeles. Government officials and organization representatives all gathered to pay tribute, show their support and gratitude for all that Tzu Chi has done for their community.
In the United States, the annual 4-day large-scale free clinic held in Los Angeles has not started, yet the patient queue has already formed. Seeing volunteers and doctors arrive, those waiting in line cheer for the upcoming medical attention. The second day of the free clinic happened to be the 20th birthday of the Tzu Chi Medical Foundation in the United States, and many government representatives stopped by to show their support and gratitude.
Give Tzu Chi a big round of applause right now for 20th anniversary. A big round of applause, not a little one, a big one.
To Tzu Chi Medical Foundation for your 20th anniversary Medicare Harvard Clinic.
First established in Los Angeles, California, Tzu Chi's free clinics over the years have served thousands of patients.
Congratulations for the amazing work that you do on behalf of our communities.
Happy birthday, and thank you for all your support. We could not run Vision without the Tzu Chi.
Many also brought back their bamboo banks, each filled with their own stories and coins.
This bamboo bank was given to my parents when they came to visit the Tzu Chi headquarters in San Dimas, and they died on May 1st, and in cleaning up the house, I found it.
And I'm so happy to contribute, and we'll keep supporting this organization.
On this special event, volunteers were able to go home with their goal of bringing back over 1,000 filled bamboo coin banks. Tzu Chi volunteers prepared 2,000 vegetarian lunch boxes to share, and the fuel for continuing with Tzu Chi's free clinics is the smiles from the patients' faces.
Unlike Taiwan, medical services such as dentistry and optometry are not covered by health insurance in the United States. Thus, the cost of getting an eye examination and prescription glasses alone can cost at least $200. To help, Tzu Chi's mobile dental clinic and vision mobile clinic have traveled to many remote communities in the country, extending their services to more than 50,000 low-income residents.
The Tzu Chi Vision Mobile Clinic celebrated its opening in June this year. Our main purpose is to serve the sick in remote areas or those who do not have access to health insurance. Our main areas of service include visual acuity, prescription glasses, and eye examinations. Let's take a look inside. Hello, Mr. Shi. Please come take a seat here. Mr. Shi, what can I do for you today? Do you have any problems with your eyes?
我现在看报纸看不太清楚
就是戴了眼镜也都看不清楚。
那个翻过来看到小字。
OK。那这副眼镜是配多久了呢
？5、6年了。
有5、6年了哈。那看远的还看得到吗？
远的可以，反正是近的报纸啊、小字啊。
比较不清楚。OK。那我们就先来量一下度数哈。
Let's first take your prescription. Place your chin here and look straight ahead. Okay, good. Now let's measure your intraocular pressure. There will be some air, so just keep looking straight ahead. Okay, let's go to the other side. We're going to take a look to see if your eyes are healthy. Take a seat here. Because you are far-sighted, so we're going to dilate your eyes to check if there are any problems with your retinas. Look straight ahead for me.
比较亮一点哈。这是看一下那个视网膜视神经。
It's a little bright. This is for us to check your retinal and optic nerves. Look to the front. Okay, you can lean back. Let's select a pair of prescription glasses for you. Afterwards, we will dilate your eyes to check your retinas. This way.
这边哈。好，来，那个是验光。
This is the prescription. Please, can you assist him with a pair of glasses?
现在已经有你的度数了哈，那现在我们来配一支。Hello, Mr. Shi. Now that we have your prescription, you need to select your frame.
这两只好像都还不错
都不错哈，你等等看啊。
看不到。今天那个朋友看笑脸吧。
哇，
我知道，
很帅。
这一只吧。
哦，确定哈 ？OK，可以。
这就是我们。
These are the optometry services we provide.
In the United States, the Museum of the City of New York is commemorating the anniversary of Hurricane Sandy with a photography exhibition of pictures submitted by over 900 photographers. The museum creator looked through over 10,000 photos and picked 200 to display. Among the display works is a picture taken by Tzu Chi volunteer Peter Lin, titled Tzu Chi Volunteers Preparing 700 Meals in Darkness.
The Museum of the City of New York's latest display is commemorating the anniversary of Hurricane Sandy. Called Rising Waters, Photographs of Hurricane Sandy, the exhibit provides a photographic look back into the days following the tragedy.
As the Museum of the City of New York, of course, we're interested in the history of New York City. We were also very concerned with letting people know that this is, even though it's a year later, this is an event that a lot of people are still dealing with. We had more than 900 photographers submit images for a total of more than 10,000 photographs. Ultimately, eventually, pared it down to about 200 photographs.
A photograph taken by Tzu Chi volunteer Peter Lin at the Tzu Chi Manhattan Liaison Office during the crisis was chosen to be a part of the exhibit out of 10,000 photos submitted.
This group of people all working together in a very tight-knit area in the dark. One person's holding a flashlight, kind of just trying to help everybody see what's going on. So there's this great group energy, and you feel like that there's this real connection among people that are trying to help each other out.
Tzu Chi, these two words must be added in the title. It can't just be preparing 700 meals in darkness that won't mean anything. I want to inform mainstream America about Tzu Chi volunteers. For me, that is the most important point. I hope Tzu Chi can leave an imprint on the history of New York.
The photograph Tzu Chi volunteers preparing 700 meals in darkness not only documents a part of New York's history, but for Lin stands for so much more.
Well, my father passed away in end of May. After he passed away, what I got left from him, it was really all his life savings, which is not that much. I take that and purchase a camera.
I feel that piece is shot together by my father and I, so it's like bringing my father to the exhibit. This is pretty important to me.
The Rising Waters exhibit will run until March 2nd, 2014 at the Museum of the City of New York. It is hoped that visitors will be inspired by the love and compassion that these photographs captured as people came together in the wake of one of New York City's biggest tragedies.
As the implementation of the 12-year compulsory education plan is just around the corner, today we take a closer look at the reform of Taiwan's education system over the past 3 decades and how it has facilitated the establishment of the first Forest Elementary School, featuring humanistic education and self-directing learning. Here's more.
你们猜想啊，为什么要有目的插进去？如果说地震来的时候啊，如果它没有木钉，它会不会这样？会松开，对不对？可是那屋子就会塌。对，所以如果有。
Xu Zhen, a 4th grader of the Forest Elementary School, later discovers a curious mark on the wall of the old house, a footprint of some kind of animal.
听说是100年前的，你相信吗？
我相信。
为什么？老师说相信。
就是有可能是在做的时候他们踩过去，然后就留下来印子，然后做好之后就有那个脚印。
The instructors of this forest school do not give lectures in a traditional manner, but instead offer the students plenty of room to think and discuss new ideas. Taiwan, after nearly 3 decades of education reform, has finally seen a little progress.
整个社会
Over the past 2 decades, Taiwanese society has undergone a significant change. More and more people now care about changing our education system for the better.
Zhu Taixiang is not only the principal of this Forest Elementary, but also the student's best friend. From their interaction, one can see a different teacher-student relationship being played out. The concepts of collective learning and individual-centered teaching are some of the unique features of the Forest Elementary School. Following the lifting of the martial law in 1987, 32 civil groups organized the first educational forum in 1988. During the 90s, a series of education reform ideologies and movements emerged, facilitating the establishment of the first Forest Elementary in Taiwan. Later, the April 10th parade in 1994 and the Education Reform Manifesto in 2003 marked 2 further milestones in Taiwan's education reform.
在20年前的教改，大家有
2 decades ago, the Taiwanese came to a consensus, and that was that their current education system was in need of change. From this realization, education reform movements were aimed to find alternative answers were born. Recently, however, we have realized that we not only have to address how to transform our education system, but also figure out how we should define an ideal education system.
Before, a forest school featuring free learning was not acceptable or even illegal in Taiwanese society. However, as the Taiwanese have become more open, similar schools have sprung up and become the favorite of parents and students.
生长让你没有办法离开的那个原因大概是什么？
大概就是
The classmates here are different. We have less homework and have more time to play.
What should our education be like? No one can give a definite answer. However, over the past decades, Taiwan has developed a much more diversified education system, proving that education indeed has limitless possibilities.
In Taiwan, there are numerous photographers devoted to capturing and documenting the beauty of our country. One such person is wildlife photographer Wang Zhengji, who was inspired over 2 decades ago to begin shooting the black-faced spoonbill, an endangered species which winters in Tainan's Taijiang National Park every year.
老师今天带什么器材啊？
带长焦800 mm 的镜头。
老师，你拍黑面皮肤多久
啊？一共有21年之久啦。
If there is anyone who knows about the black-faced spoonbill in Taiwan, it would be photographer Wang Zhengji. As the temperature drops, these large water birds cross the ocean and forest to come to Taiwan to pass the winter.
In the north, it is really cold, it will be snowing there and there is no way to find food, so these birds will come all the way south to Taiwan and some even go to Vietnam. When the black-faced spoonbill incident occurred, I was a camera reporter at China Daily News, and because I had the equipment, I was assigned to report on the incident. I was shocked to see how 2 of these birds were killed. When the news got out, it sparked concern worldwide. Many countries thought we were a cruel nation which didn't know anything about protecting nature. It was then I decided that I would capture the best side of the black-faced spoonbill with my camera.
At the time, then 47-year-old Wang Zhengji not only quit his job at the news agency, but also closed all 6 of his wedding photography stores to become a wildlife photographer.
I'm a slow learner and it takes more time for me, so that's why I have been shooting the same bird for over 2 decades and I'm still doing it.
Many believe Wang has lost his mind to devote himself to only shooting wildlife, and the journey hasn't been an easy one as Wang lost his wife along the way.
I wanted to shoot an African spoonbill, so I took my wife and children to South Africa. I was nervous, so I took a turn too fast and the car tipped over and rolled down the hillside. Of the 6 passengers on board, 2 passed away. One was my wife and the other my friend's mom. I couldn't stop blaming myself over the accident. For a whole year, I couldn't bear to hold my camera because my heart ached every time I did.
Through Wang Zhengji's work on documenting the endangered species, he successfully raised public awareness of the bird's plight and even inspired others to help turn the Qigu industrial area into the Taijiang National Park in 2009.
For some 100 to this year, now there are about 1,600 of these black-faced spoonbill that pass or stay here in Taiwan during their migration period. That's over 50% of the total population. We don't have to give them a red carpet entry for them to know that this is the place to come.
With only some 2,700 black-faced spoonbills left worldwide, Wang Zhengji finds comfort in knowing that Taiwan is now the wintering site for over 50% of the species.
As a group of volunteers are working round the clock at the Tzu Chi Holy Liaison Office to assemble 160 prefabricated classrooms for students in Zamboanga of the Philippines, team members and entrepreneurs arrive with boxes of fruits and dessert to thank everyone for their selfless dedication in helping those in need.
Tima medical staff and city volunteers arrived with boxes of fruits for those working on the prefab classrooms for the Philippines.
They are so devoted to this project, and we would like to offer what we can to help them rid of their tiredness.
Another volunteer also brings pineapple cake and desserts to share with everyone. Over the past 2 weeks, those devoted to this project have withstood the heat to put the prefab classrooms together.
Everyone is giving so selflessly. In a heated condition like this, it's really hot inside and they might get heat stroke, so we are here to care for them.
To help the students in Zamboanga City, volunteers are working around the clock in shifts to assemble 160 prefab classrooms together and are happy with their progress so far.
Everyone is giving without asking for anything in return. We haven't helped much, so we just bring food to share.
Thanks to the support and care of the team members and entrepreneurs, these volunteers are given a boost of energy to continue their work.
In Malaysia, Klang Tzu Chi volunteers visited 86-year-old Hindu care recipient Mediai. As the Hindus are currently celebrating Diwali, Tzu Chi volunteers and Tzu Saos not only cleaned up the senior's home, but also decorated her house with rangoli, a decoration traditionally made during this holiday season. Here's more. Mopping the floors and wiping the windows, today Klang Tzu Chi volunteers are helping 86-year-old care recipient Mediai clean up her house in time to celebrate Diwali.
Grandma, we will take this down and wash it.
We will sweep the floors and clean the walls.
Knowing that the senior has no means to make ends meet and has to look after her great-grandchildren, the volunteers decided to offer their help by cleaning up her home. This year, Tzu Shaos also prepared a special gift for the senior.
We made a rangoli. It is embedded with our blessings. We wish the grandma good health.
It was very fun. However, I'm a bit tired. It is hard to put the rice in the right place.
For Hindus, the rangoli is a decoration that traditionally accompanies the holiday of Diwali. However, as Mediai has been suffering from poor health and malnutrition, it has been many years since she has made one. Upon learning that the senior is sick, the volunteers quickly accompany her to the hospital.
You need to rest. Over here you can sleep soundly and no one will disturb you.
The house is very beautiful.
Seeing the rangoli on the floor, the senior is overjoyed as it has been years since Mariani's decorated her house with a rangoli. Before the volunteers' departure, the senior expresses her deepest gratitude to the group for the warmth and happiness they have brought into her life. We stay in Malaysia's Klang at the end of the show. DaAi mothers, Tzu Shaos, and trainees at the Tzu Chi parent-child class gathered to perform the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to parents to inspire members of the public to fulfill their filial duties. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.